ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. And we did just about make it in time. It's getting progressively busier before the live streams, getting everything set up and leaving myself enough time to then go live at the right time, especially if things then don't start working or stop working. That's even worse. So luckily we are here, and I remembered that last night I didn't set up the live stream because a main reason for that is I was organising something for Thursday night, which is going to be Friday morning in Australia, but I'm going to tell you about that in a second because let's see who's in the live chat room tonight. We have Vince, Tom, Cindy, Ginny, Mary V, Karen's in there, Bella, Donna, Deborah, Linda, Terry, Billy, and Maria, Charlie as well, Karen, Bonnie, Sue, Bev. Hello, thank you for joining me tonight. I hope that your week has started well and that it's either not too cold where you are or not too ridiculously hot, because that's something that I've been seeing on the news and has been reported on quite widely here, that different places in the world are just ridiculously hot, especially Greece, which is a problem for people here in the UK because people from the UK go to Greece a lot and go on holiday there. Not that I've been on holiday to Greece, but yeah, apparently it's a bit of a nightmare there at the moment. We've seen it on TV. They've had to, try and put out a ridiculous amount of fires, but this is the problem that we're having nowadays, unfortunately. And here in the UK, it's been the wettest July, I don't know, maybe on record or something like that. So we've had so much rain. So we've gone from, what was it, last month or the month before, of just being ridiculous, actually having the hottest, was it the hottest June ever? I'm not sure. But we are setting records all the time. So now it's been, the hottest period that we have during the year for that time of year to now the wettest time of year that we've ever had. And then no doubt I think next month it will probably be back to like the hottest ever again, or maybe we'll have some kind of snow. You never know with the weather. But I mean, thankfully here, even though people complain about the rain, I'm not too bothered about the rain, to be honest, because it means that generally the temperatures are going to be cooler, so I don't have to have air conditioning on and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, people do complain about the rain here. But thankfully the temperature, because of the jet stream that's going on or something like that underneath the UK, it's like a barrier between Europe and the UK at the moment. That's the reason that we're getting the cold weather and they're getting ridiculously hot weather. So as long as that stays there, it means that we are saved those crazy temperatures, even though people have been saying that they want the hotter temperatures because it's summer. But I don't mind it being a little bit cooler, to be honest, because last year when it got up to 40 and 41, I was a little bit crazy. Anyway, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they're the reason that this is all possible in the first place. Not only this live stream, but every single video that I make for the channel. So a huge thank you to you guys. You know who you are. And if you want to get involved yourselves, the website is Wings of Pegasus, but put that after patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. I put it on the screen so I don't have to say it all, or at least if I say it incorrectly, I can correct myself by saying patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. So there you go. So, let's get the likes goal on screen early doors, because we're aiming for 320 likes tonight. And this has been a target maybe once before. I can't remember whether we hit it last time or not. But needless to say, we're looking for every single thumbs up we can get for tonight's live stream. And 320 being the one that we're aiming for, I have noticed that it should, I think, be Phil Jam number 26, because number 25 was last time. So we don't want to play along to something that we've already heard before. So there we go. Phil Jam number 26. That's what we'll have if we hit 320 likes. And let's get the like-ometer up on screen. We do have 159 likes so far. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up and, making a bit of a dent in that total. Now, something that does frustrate me a little bit. I can see that these are the kind of things that I notice. The little red box behind the number is slightly too small for the number. If I move it down, you can see now it's moving down and now it's moving up. Obviously, I'm doing this with my mouse because everything you see on screen, I'm controlling so I can make things disappear. And if I want to get that a little bit more centralized, the likes, then I kind of move it maybe to there. So, yeah, these things that catch my eye and then they just put me off. And yeah, that's a little bit more centralized. And now we've got the background fully behind the square. So I can now relax and get on with things. I don't think it's quite the obsessive compulsive order thing or when people have to do things, because I've sat through live streams before and that kind of thing hasn't affected me. But now it is done. It means for all the rest of the live streams, I'm going to save it now. So the rest of the live streams, I can not have to do it again. Right, let's talk about things coming up on the channel that weren't going to be coming up on the channel, but they are now. So something, and this is the reason that I'm really busy at the moment. Actually, talking about being really busy, I mean, it's one thing after another here, but we have just hit 309,000 subscribers on the channel. So thank you everyone for subscribing and liking, hitting that notification bell as well to get notified for all of the videos, which you will have to do if you want to get a notification. Hit that bell. But yeah, 309,000. I believe 308,000 was on Saturday, was it? So that means in 3 days we've had over 1,000 more subscribers. Which is crazy. I mean, it's great. I think the live stream before that we had 307,000. So yeah, we'll keep on pushing forward, see where we end up. But certainly at the moment we're going through a bit of a growing phase on the channel, but I'm sure things will slow down. It always tends to go in peaks and troughs with subscriber counts, but it's great. 309,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for spending some time on the channel, commenting, all of that cool stuff. Right, so let's now get rid of that. And I've just noticed that the cheers go on for exactly 1 minute. So once they finish, then they'll start up again, or sometimes they don't start up. So I've just turned them off to get rid of the crazy people screaming, but with good reason. 309,000 is amazing. Right. Now, let me get back to the things that I'm really busy with, which is just everything. Right. Later on this week, I'm going to be aiming for Friday night to release something that we haven't even done yet. I was speaking with Taj Farrant, who's a friend of the channel, as you guys all know. In the past, I've spoken with Taj, I don't think actually on the channel yet, but he was a subject for my series that I had called In It. No, it wasn't In at the Deep End. It was Under the Spotlight, that series that we did, where we looked at, people's playing, and they sent in exclusive performances just for that particular series that I was doing. And yeah, Taj sent that video in, and Taj has just released his new single called Crossroads, and I was speaking to Brandon, his dad, and last night I was speaking to Taj, I say speaking, we're just WhatsApping, and we're organising a chat, and we have organised a chat for Thursday night is what it's going to be here, but because they're in Australia, it means it's going to be Friday morning for them. So I'm going to be chatting with Taj about his new single release, which went to #1 in the iTunes Blues chart, by the way. So yeah, we're going to be chatting about that, and I'm going to aim to edit that video together. Now, this might be wishful thinking, considering that I'm actually doing the interview on Thursday night to then have it released for Friday night. It might be a bit of a push. It might have to just be pulling an all-nighter or something to edit it together and then during the day. But I feel like with everything going on, I've got to try and do things so quickly just to keep up with everything. So yeah, I'll be doing that interview on Thursday night and hopefully editing it together on Friday. But that's going to be great to have a chat with Taj on the channel. And yeah, looking forward to that. And that's just one of these things that popped up, and it's just like a bonus thing that we can do on the channel. And sometimes it isn't possible with schedules and all that kind of stuff, but thankfully, Taj and Brandon quite flexible, and they just said to me, look, whenever you can do it, just let us know. And then I said, well, I can do it on a Thursday night. And yeah, that being an admin day for me means that I can put a bit of admin aside and just spend a little bit of time on that interview. Anyway, it means that probably what I'm going to have to start doing is maybe have a video or two in advance or something, just to try and keep up with everything. But the problem is that a video takes between 6 and 12 hours to do, so it's like a full day. So it means that, yeah, doing something in advance means I'd have to take a full day to do that, which means that something that I normally do throughout that whole day would have to get pushed onto another day. And it means, well, when am I going to catch up doing all of that stuff? But I think it's just exaggerated because of the amount of subscribers, and therefore the extra amount of messages and emails that come through with, you know, literally going up by 1,000 more people getting involved over kind of a few days, which is, yeah, great, but it does keep things very busy indeed. So anyway, look out for that on Friday night. Of course, I'll let you guys know over on Patreon as to whether that's going to be possible for me to edit together a whole interview video in a night, an all night, and potentially a day, because they do take a bit longer to put together. But I think I'm just going to have to do my best with that to keep up with everything. I know that if I take more than a day or two to edit that together, that'll have a knock-on effect on everything, like all of the admin, all the messages. So I will do my best to do that. But it'll be great to have a chat with Taj on the channel, because I don't think, from memory, we've done an interview type video with Taj. So yeah, and the fact that, you know, he sings as well. That's something that I mentioned, probably a few years ago about, you know, Taj playing and saying that singing is also a great thing to, you know, add to your skill set, and that's something that Taj has done. So it's going to be great to have a chat with him, not only about his playing and, you know, his single, but also his vocals and kind of what he does with that and how he approaches it, and also playing live in his tours that he does. So yeah, that'd be great. Now, let me also mention that I can see that there have been some donations that have come through. So thank you for those, and this is the point at which I say you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. Maybe hitting the thumbs up, leave a comment, introduce yourself in the live chat room if you're watching the live streams live. It's great to interact with you guys in a live setting. But yeah, introduce yourself. We all get used to each other's usernames and see the usual suspects in there. So yeah, you can become a usual suspect yourself. But I can see that, yeah, we've had some donations, and let me just get the donations tab up on screen, because for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that you know between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, if that's how you want to do things. And there's a PayPal link in the description below. But let's just quickly get into these, because Paul donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was, howdy, please spike those likes, all y'all. Thank you for that, and great idea. Maybe we can get a bit of a spike going on early on in the live stream, even though it's somehow 20 past 11 already. Paul donated again $2 and says, wow, 309,000 subscribers, growing faster than ever. So thank you for that. And yes, crazy number indeed. Orlando's donated $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, I have an American-Italian club meeting tonight. I will catch up later. Spike the likes with some thumbs up. So thank you for that again. Great idea. And while I remember, let's have a plug of the mug. There it is. And there we have it. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, including the mugs, you can click on the tray underneath this video. If you can't see a tray, then there's a link in the description below that will take you through to the spring.com store, and that's where you'll find the t-shirts and the hoodies and the mugs and the tumblers and the caps, whatever you want to get your hands on. So yes, thank you Shauna as well, who has donated $5, and it's a person looking a little bit, I think, bored maybe, and it says, I think you're number one. So it sounded like it's almost going to be an insult there, saying you're, but no, it is, I think, number one. It's quite small on my screen, but thank you for that, Shauna. Marsha has donated $10 as well. So thank you for that, Marsha. And the message is, do ever watch the shows like The Voice or American Idol? What do you think? So thank you for that. And I don't generally watch any of those kinds of shows. I don't really have too much time to watch any kind of shows, but I did actually catch a little bit, and I tend to always have something on in the background. A documentary about why sharks attack. I can't remember whether I said this on the last live stream. But anyway, yeah, it's an interesting documentary here on the BBC about why sharks attack. And I think it's quite a simple answer, that they're hungry. That's one thing. And the other thing is that they predate dinosaurs. So the water is their domain. So just stay out of the water. That's what I would suggest. And that's what I would do. But I think I did mention it about, when I was then on holiday and then I was swimming out quite deep because, we're being a bit silly on these pedalo things, and then realised, if I get eaten by a shark now, it's my own fault. But anyway, thank you for that. But I don't watch The Voice or American Idol. And I mean, that was probably the driving force why I went on The X Factor, which is a show that we have here in the UK, which is like American Idol and The Voice. And I wanted to go on there to show that if you just act crazy, then you will get on TV. And people don't realise that on those shows, there are 4 auditions before there are any TV cameras, before you even get on the stage in front of the celebrity judges. And sometimes, they're not even judges who have a musical past. Well, here in the UK, we had somebody that wasn't even a musician who was being a judge of a singing contest, apparently. But anyway, so you have to go through 4 auditions, and in each of those auditions, I didn't play or sing. I just walked out, and they kept putting me through. Because it's something that nobody else was doing. So, that was my driving force to then show that if you just act outrageously, they'll put you on TV. You'll be put in place of talented singers. So plenty of talented singers got told to go home, whereas I, who was doing nothing, was just running around being silly, and they kept putting me through. Now, the other thing is that by doing my song, That's Metal to My Ears, it means that I now get a royalty for that every time that performance is shown. And that's why it's not shown on any compilations because Simon Cowell has to pay me because I used my own song. And it's something that they didn't want me to do for this very reason, but I did it anyway. And because the audition was a little bit out there, a little bit crazy, and everyone was talking about it, and it was actually in newspapers, they had to put it in their show and edit it in. So it meant that they just kind of bit the bullet on paying me the money because I own the publishing rights to my own music. So that was another side of it, to just show that, first of all, if you just act outrageously, you'll get on TV. But then second of all, if you know how music works and publishing and royalties work, then if you do get yourself on TV and you do one of your own songs, you will get money for that. It doesn't matter if you're then running around being silly, and that's very much something that I was doing, not really focusing on performing or treating it as a serious contest, because I don't think it's a serious contest. If you own your own music, then you can make some money from doing such a thing, or such a publicity stunt, if you want to call it that. But I was just kind of proving that point. So I don't watch those kind of shows, and I'm just not really into how it works, because you'll have somebody that wins for 1 year, and then the next year they're forgotten about because it's a new series. So now they're focusing on the new person who's going to win, and then the year after that, that person is then going to win. It's like when you think back to how many years these competitions have been going on, and you say, right, who won it in the 3rd year? Nobody knows. It's not about building somebody's career. And I mean, this is something that I'd like to do in the future. Not that it's ever going to be possible, I think, but I would love I'd love to have a show, or for there to be a show that was genuinely about the musicians who were performing. So picture the scene. You might have a judging panel, and all of the judges have some kind of history in music, either being independent musicians who are doing it full time, because that means that they have worked at it themselves. They've played all the gigs, all the pubs, all the clubs, and they've marketed themselves. They've owned, they understand the business and the publishing rights. You have somebody like that on the panel, maybe somebody else who, I don't know, is part of either a record label, an independent record label, something like that. But anyway, they've all got a history in music. Maybe an artist themselves, who's just an artist, but they're kind of popular and well respected by the musicians community, rather than just kind of being famous, but they can actually kind of play and sing, write songs, all that kind of thing. So you'd have judges like that. But when an artist comes out to perform, it's their own song, and they then get the royalties from the TV show for performing their song on TV. And when they come out to perform, you put up on screen their website. If people like this, where to buy their music, maybe their Instagram or their social media, whatever they have, so that everything is based around the musicians, because you're building your career. That's the whole point. Well, that should be what the point is, but that's not what the point is for talent shows, because that's all about making money off the back of people who are talented, rather than talented people making money because they're talented. So that is something that's the kind of show that I would like to see on TV, and I would watch a show like that when it's not about the celebrities behind the desk, and it's not about, when this person wins, they're given £1 million, record contract. And that recording contract, by the way, it sounds great. That's not £1 million that's given to the artist. That's what they spend on going to the studio, coaches to take them round on tour, hotels, food, and, famously, in the past, managers who charge a ridiculous amount for towels, silly things that they say, a week's worth of towels are £300, that's what we spent on it. And it's just a way that they can steal money from the artist. So anyway, that £1 million, it doesn't go to the artist, it goes on recording and booking really expensive hotels and tour buses. You don't need a tour bus. You can the artist could drive to the gig. They've done that earlier in their career. Just put your guitar and your amp in the back of your car and drive, and then say the money that you're going to spend on, because they are really expensive tour buses, the amount of money you're going to spend, give that to me, please, as the artist, and I'll put it in my bank account. Anyway, so that's it. So when you hear about, they signed a £1 million recording contract, they're still broke. They still get zero from that. In fact, the record label will have to make £1 million back through sales, and if they don't, the artist owes the record label. That's something that they don't publicise very much. So you can end up having an artist who's won the competition, signed £1 million recording contract, and only sold £500,000 worth of singles, albums, and sales going through ticket sales. I'm talking about on tour, and it means that they owe the record label £500,000. So that's what you're left with, and that's why you never hear from people again. It's because they spend their entire career trying to pay back that debt, and if that debt gets written off, then the person now has to start from scratch and they've got no money. This is the thing that isn't publicised. That's why I'm not particularly into these talent shows, and I would rather it be about the artist and giving them a platform to have a career, so that 5 years down the line they're not broke. They've actually got their following that they got from the show that are constantly supporting them. So Anyway, a bit of a long answer to that question, but thank you for that, Marsha. And Marsha has donated $10 again, and thank you for that in the message. I just watched it. Will you get paid for it? Laugh out loud. So thank you for that. And I haven't, and maybe this is something that I should do, but I haven't copyright claimed on the YouTube video. It depends which particular YouTube video is. If it's from the official X Factor video, then I don't think I've copyright claimed that. I'll just kind of let that happen. But if it's ever shown on TV, then it'll pop up through PRS, which is the Performing Rights Society here in the UK, and they're in control of paying people for their music whenever it gets featured on either radio, TV. But for YouTube, it's something that, yeah, I should probably do a copyright claim on that. Not copyright block it, but maybe get the ad revenue for each video. But yeah, I'm not that bothered about it. It's not something that is on YouTube. You're not going to make, I'm not going to make millions of pounds just from that particular video getting watched a lot. And I think that's the big misconception, is that people think that on YouTube, if you get, 1 million views or maybe 2 million views, that you get, like hundreds of thousands of pounds. It doesn't work out that way. It's very much like, music streaming, that you've got to have, millions and millions and millions of streams to then get any money that you'd potentially consider to be worth, or a significant amount where you think, oh, I can put that towards maybe, buying hard drives or something like that for my computer. So yeah, we will see. Maybe I'll it would be interesting to see if I copyright claim it, whether they would dispute it, because that'd be good if they did, because then I could give them a copyright strike on the official X Factor channel, and it would be justified. So yeah, anyway, I mean, I haven't sadly got time to get involved with all of that, but that's something that would be open to me as the owner. Right, thank you, Marsha, for those donations, and everyone for those donations in the Super Chat window. But moving over into the PayPal window, there have been donations in there, so thank you for these. And it's 11:30 already, but just jumping into the vote for tonight's cover video. That's between Don't Stop Believing and Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. And the annoying thing about Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For is that it doesn't fit. I don't have enough characters to type the full title into the poll. So I can see that it's in the lead with 51% of the vote. So it's a close one tonight. Have your say. Whichever one of those songs you want to hear is going to be my version of it, obviously. And we'll be taking a look at that a little bit later on. But let's quickly get through these donations over on PayPal. As you guys know, I do address these no matter when they come through. And let me just get the microphone out the way, because this came through at 7:03 on Sunday evening from Cindy for a donation of £40. So thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, hi Phil, since we are not doing the pick roulette wheel anymore, what about doing a random topic wheel? You spin the wheel and then talk about whatever subject comes up. You could have lots of different topics on the wheel, like musical influences, hair, food, sports, hair again, aluminum, etc. And if there was something that you didn't want to talk about that day, you could just choose it as your top tip and be sure not to land on it. So thank you for that, Cindy. Long message with that one. And I mean, it is possible, but it kind of feels like we talk about anything anyway, regardless of having a wheel or not. But yeah, if somebody wants to, put together a wheel with topics on it for me to spin, then yeah, I can do that if you want to. If that's a really popular idea that people want to do in the live streams, then yeah, let me know. But thank you for that, Cindy. And we had a donation that came through from Billy for £10 as well. Thank you for that, Billy. And the message is, hey Phil, more than likely you have received several messages saying what I'm about to say, but the sentiment bears repeating. Let's give it up again for that cheerful, innocent, grumpy old Bob who celebrated a birthday yesterday. Party and rock on, Bob. So thank you for that, Billy. The reminder that it was Bob's birthday yesterday. So if you guys can just wish Bob a big happy birthday, that would be great. And Bob hosts the after party over on Facebook after these live streams. So if you want to get involved, if you do use Facebook, then there's a page there called the Wings of Pegasus Supporters Group, and you can click on join with that particular group, get involved and join in with the conversation after the live streams, because that's where everyone hangs out between the live streams. So yes, a big happy birthday to Bob, and I hope you had a fantastic day. And thank you, Billy, for the reminder and that donation. Nicole donated £10 and 67p as well. Thank you for that, Nicole. The message is a little hello this evening for you, Phil. I hope a good week of summer with nice things and pretty surprises. You're great. French sweetness. So thank you for that, Nicole. And yeah, I mean, our summer isn't really too much like a summer at the moment. So yeah, a little bit cooler than normal and raining. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to get a lot hotter soon. Well, I suppose it would be the opposite. You know, if I'm trying to predict that, that tends to happen. Whatever you think the weather's going to be, it's just the opposite. But also, Debbie has donated £10. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on 309,000 subscribers. I'm so happy for you on Catch Up Crew tonight, but spiked my like. Have a great show. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And great idea there. If you are watching in the future on Catch Up, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help the live stream to get out there and just for the channel to grow on the whole, which it is doing a lot of at the moment. So again, thank you for hitting the thumbs up after the live streams as well as during the live streams, and of course on the videos, the analysis videos and all that kind of thing. I mean, every single like does help. So I can see that we're at 251 likes at the moment, which means we're looking for 69. That can't be right. Is it 69? I don't know. That number popped into my head and I'm just going to go with it. So if that's correct, then great. We are looking for... Oh, that makes it easier. Now it's 70. So 69 would have been correct. 251. Somebody did an accidental double click, which adds it and then takes it away. And I think it takes a little bit of time for it to add on again. Or that once the person realizes and then clicks it again. So 253 now. We'll keep an eye on that. We still have a little bit of time left. I say a little bit of time. It's actually quite a lot of time, maybe 35, 40 minutes. But that seems to just disappear in the blink of an eye during these live streams. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that likeometer. It is going up regularly, which is great. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. And Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 309,000 subscribers. What singer / band or group's concert would you like to attend in the future? So thank you for that. And we had a similar question to this, I think, in the last live stream, but it was about a band that I wouldn't normally go and see, and I said Coldplay, that I'd go and see live. As for which group's concert would you like to attend in the future? I mean, it's difficult, but I know that definitely a gig that I will attend, as and when it happens, is when Taj comes over to the UK, whenever that may be. Taj Farrant, because I know that, you know, he's been over in the USA and yeah, has done a few shows, which I do try to keep ahead of, or at least, you know, watching on Instagram, because we follow each other over there, watching his performances and bits of his performances. So yeah, I do keep in the loop that way. But certainly, yeah, that's somebody that I'll be chatting to on Thursday night. If you didn't catch the beginning of the live stream, yeah, I'm going to be chatting to Taj on Thursday night and hopefully, yeah, releasing that on Friday night. That's what I'm aiming for, fingers crossed. So yeah, I know that that's certainly a singer / band, but I mean, Taj is a singer and, you know, a musician, a guitarist. So yeah, that would cover both of those. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, what are your bets on the Women's FIFA World Cup winners? Will the USA three-peat, or who can derail them? So thank you for that, Steve. And I'm taking from that three-peat that they must have won the last three. I know that they're the current champions, and that's what they keep saying here. But yes, in terms of other teams that are going to win it, I heard that Brazil won their first match. Yeah, sadly, I can't watch all of the games. I tend to just try and hear the results and see what's happened. I think Denmark won their first match and they're in our group, England's group. So we're playing them next. And that's on Friday morning. And yeah, so unfortunately, Thursday and Friday for me is just going to be jam-packed doing editing, doing that interview. So I'm going to have to record that and watch it at some point in the future, probably over the weekend, and try to avoid finding out what the result was, because I like to watch it as if I haven't seen it, so that, you know, I don't know why. I mean, some people just are happy to know the result, but then for me, that kind of ruins watching the match. So yeah, I'll record it. Try to avoid finding out the result and then watch it maybe over the weekend sometime. Even though, yeah, Saturday we're going to be live streaming. Sunday's going to be a video. Maybe I can watch it on Monday during the admin day. But we will see. So, yeah. So in terms of catching other teams playing, I think Haiti, the team that we played, I think they're going to do quite well. Or at least they played quite well against us. So that's a team that I'm going to keep an eye on their results, obviously because they're in England's group, but just because I think they've got potential, because they're a very young team as well. So they've got lots of energy, close the ball down well, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, who did I say? Brazil, Denmark, USA. Did I see that? I think Canada maybe lost as well, because I think Canada are one of the good teams. I think maybe New Zealand. Did New Zealand lose? I think maybe they lost but won their first match. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to keep up with it. But yeah, it is difficult. But I'm keeping up with England. That's my main focus at the moment with the Women's World Cup. But thank you for that, Steve. And Joe has donated £5. Thank you for that, Joe. And the message is, interested to hear your thoughts last week about features you'd want on your custom guitar. What about construction / materials, ebony or rosewood or maple fretboard, mahogany or ash or maple body, bolt on or through neck construction? So thank you for that, Joe. Okay, let me go through these. I mean, these are a lot of choices to make. I mean, in terms of a bolt on or through neck construction, again, because you know I have guitars that are both, so yeah, difficult one. Probably, I don't know. I'd say through neck construction, but then again, I mean, there's pros and cons to. I mean, both. So bolt on or through neck. I go for through neck, mahogany or ash or maple body. For the body, yeah, I don't know. Let's go with a mahogany body. Now, as for ebony, rosewood, or maple fretboard, most of the guitars I've had have been rosewood, but I mean, maple is nice. I mean, my dad's Fender Strat has a maple neck. So, from having a little go on that when I was younger, it was a lot smoother, but it depends. Again, difficult because it's pros and cons. Because I also like the resistance you get from a rosewood neck rather than like maple. The way that I play and the way that it feels to me, a maple neck has less resistance to it than a rosewood neck, and that's sometimes something that you want and sometimes you don't want. So yeah, between ebony, rosewood, or maple, I'd probably go for rosewood. But then maybe have maple as well. As for ebony, I didn't really have a history of playing ebony fretboards. So yeah, in terms of construction materials, we've already really gone through that. So that's all covered. I was kind of working my way back through the questions, but thank you for that, Joe. But I think if I was to seriously sit down and go through all of these things, I'd go through all the pros and the cons of, depending what I wanted the guitar to be like, whether I wanted it for more feel, because in my case that would be more rosewood, or for speed it would be more maple, and I think that's probably what I'd go for between those two. Either side of rosewood and maple and not ebony, just because of my past history. But thank you for that, Joe. And there's been another donation, and this is coming from Sheila. So thank you for that, Sheila. It's £3.72, and that is a straight up donation. So thank you for that, And Karen's just donated £3.72. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 309,000 subscribers. As far as acting crazy or silly is concerned, somehow I think that being normal is highly overrated. We all love you for you, Phil. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, I mean, being crazy, I mean, it's quite an easy thing to do because people say, oh, how could you do that? Because I'd be so self-conscious if I had to do that myself. And I mean, it's when you're proving a point. So there's no real nervousness involved because you're proving a point about it. So there's a reason for it. You know, if you're just being crazy for no reason, then yeah, it's obviously probably more difficult to do. But yeah, that's the way that I dealt with it. Is absolutely fine. And I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but it must be to do with the design of the guitar that Joe just asked. But earlier I was talking about, you know, music theory and all that kind of stuff. And I think, I mean, especially with my videos, I don't really get into, I mean, I say chords and progressions and, you know, sometimes call out, you know, if I'm talking about a blues, you know, sometimes call out 1, 4, 5 chord progressions, all that kind of stuff. But I don't tend to get too involved with it. Maybe circular fifths I mention now and again, just for the sharps and flats in keys. But, I mean, I know why I don't get into it, because of what I was talking about today. And the reason why, and this is the rationale for what I was reading and what I was talking about, the rationale for the reason a particular note was chosen is because of why they knew it worked. And they were talking about a songwriter, and they say, why does the song go, or why does the particular solo go to that note? And they say that when you're playing a solo, sometimes you'll get lucky and hit a note that works because, you know, theoretically it works for a particular reason. And they said that, yeah, you'll get lucky, but then you always have to know why it worked. So learn your theory. And I thought, but what about if that note was the one that you wanted, the one that you heard in your head, that you were singing? You don't need to know theory to know that. So, I mean, the article that I was reading almost implied that you can never come up with anything yourself. Or if you do accidentally hit a note that might seem clever, theoretically, that the reason you hit that note is because you were lucky, that you weren't coming up with it. Theoretically, you need to know why it worked. But the reason it worked is because you're singing it. You came up with it yourself. So yeah, so this is, I mean, it's a huge part of why I always turn, you know, if theory is straight on, I always turn left or turn right. Because to my mind, I mean, the most creative artists of all time have never written down their songs before playing it. They've played it first, and then more often than not, other people write it down so that it can be repeated. But that's not how music's created. It's a language. So yeah, that's something that really turns me off about theory, is that you need to learn everything first so you know which notes you can play. No, you need to learn the language of music first, be able to talk it and sing it so that you can use the language of music. You don't need to write it down. And I always say that, yeah, when you learn to talk as a kid, you don't know how to write yet, but you're speaking the language. That's exactly what music is. And when talking about notes, again, when they're talking about theory and everything that's been given a particular term or something that describes a note or a set of notes, they'll say, right, these notes are a triad. These particular 3 notes are a triad. But what you've got to remember is that they're not actually a triad. That's something that has been invented and used as a term to describe these 3 frequencies. They're not even notes. These are specific frequencies of sound we're talking about. So once you dive into that, analysing frequencies, you think, right, the reason I came up with this note, I didn't come up with a note, I came up with a frequency that resonates with me and my ear. So that's why I came up with it. Not because I know any theory, and there's been loads of great singers and artists who don't know any theory and they can't read or write music, but they write great songs. They come up with great melodies. And why is that? Because they're choosing frequencies. They're not choosing notes. They're choosing frequencies that not only resonate with them, but they resonate with humans, just in general, en masse, who then buy the song because this frequency is resonating with them. So yeah, this is why you've got, like I said, I turn in a different direction to theory, because if you really want to get down to creativity and what fundamentally music is, it wasn't written down first and then we read it so we knew what things sounded like. We heard the sounds first. So, well, why don't we study the frequencies and the sounds and why certain sounds elicit an emotional response in us? It's not because we're reading the notes, it's because we're hearing them. So yeah, anyway, just to talk about that for a little while, because yeah, it's something that really turns me off about theory, and it's the reason why I didn't like music at school. And then realised later on in life, oh, hang on, music isn't written down first, you make it. And once I started doing that, I thought, oh, I enjoy this more. I enjoy hearing things, trying to replicate them on the guitar and then making up my own version of whatever I want to do. So yeah, certainly for me, music is all about sound. Which shouldn't seem like a shock, but it is to a lot of people who don't really see it on that level. They've only ever seen it written down and think that that's what it is. So anyway, different points of view, but for me, I always approach the sound, the art form, and music as frequencies rather than getting into lots of theory, because for me, theory is what's after the event. Somebody's created something in lots of different frequencies that resonate with people, and then other people write it down. We'll think, the creation is here. Like I said, you don't have somebody writing stuff down and trying to think, oh, right. You might have that, think, right, what can I do? But that's creating after the fact and trying to do things, writing it down. Generally, it's all going to be done with your ear. That's how it all started. Writing down music is secondary. Like speaking and then writing down what you've just said. You speak it first. So anyway, getting that off my chest about creation and the art of music and frequencies rather than theory, let's jump into that super chat window again, because we've had another donation, and this is coming from Oystein, who has donated 100 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that. And the message is, play Angelina Jordan with Diamond, only audio, or Now I'm the Fool, if you got to have a video, both from her new EP. So thank you for that. And this is something that I've mentioned before on the channel about Angelina putting a warning on her videos not to use them. So as a musician myself, I just I know that other people just ignore that particular wish, but as a musician myself, I just want to honor what she says on her videos, not to use them. So that's the reason. But like I've said, if she's fine with me doing it and lets me know that, then I will feature her in the future. But it's something at the moment that I can't do. Just from the musician side of things, I know that other people do videos and they're not probably musicians themselves, so they just kind of ignore everything pretty much and feature anybody's video that they want to feature. And yet sometimes it's not even a fair use of that particular video or song. So I'm just making sure that I do respect her wishes on her videos. But thank you for that donation. And by the way, I don't charge for analysis videos. I know that other people assume, because there are other channels that charge people and say, oh, pay me this amount of money and I'll do your analysis. Well, it's not an analysis, it's a reaction. I'll do your reaction video. That's not the way that I roll. I think that everybody's opinion and wish is just as valid as somebody else's. It's not like, oh, if you've got more money, then I'll treat you differently. It's just, music is just universal. So I don't see any reason for doing that myself. It's not something that I'm particularly into, or You know, like I say on the channel and the live streams, that you don't have to donate money. Just watching is great. And I stand by that for my analysis videos as well. You don't have to pay me. So yeah, if you do pay me thinking that it's going to get an analysis video ahead of other people's requests, and you think that's how it works, then just let me know and I'll refund that money. Yeah, absolutely no problem. Because yeah, some people are kind of assuming that that's the way it works, but no. I don't ask for anybody's money. So thank you for that donation anyway. And yeah, we can reverse that. Just let me know. Liz has donated $20 as well. Thank you for that, Liz. And the message is, thanks for being you, with the person looking at themselves in the mirror. So thank you for that. Right. Let's jump into tonight's cover video because it's almost midnight here in the UK. So I'm going to have to end the poll there. It looks like it's going to be a close one tonight. It is apparently 50% for still haven't found what I'm looking for. So that's 50 points something. It just about beats Don't Stop Believing for tonight. So we will jump into this. Obviously my version of the U2 classic. Hope you guys enjoy this and I'll see you after. Rock!
Only
Phil here, and thank you so much for watching my cover of Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2. I hope you enjoyed it. The names that you can see going down the screen here are my patrons who support me and make videos like this possible. So thanks patrons, it's massively appreciated. If you guys want to get involved, head to the website down here. And if I don't see you on Patreon, then check me out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all the other places. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock. And there we have it. That was my version of Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. Thank you guys for voting for that song as tonight's cover video, and you guys for suggesting it in the first place over on Patreon. So let me get everything organized, because we have, I think, just a brief jump in store going into picture corner, because we have a couple of pictures in there that we're going to be taking a look at. So we'll do that now, but we are 2 likes by the look of it, 2 likes away, 1 like away from having a Phil jam. So looking for one more person. Maybe we can hit that while I'm looking at the screen, and the comments always come through before I can see it, and some people are saying goal already. So Charlie says goal, Barbara says goal, Wolflad says goal, PM112 says goal, John says goal. So I think we must have made it, and I'm waiting for it to go just to see how long I am delayed. There it is. So what was that? Maybe 10 or 15 seconds? Because the feed that I watch has obviously gone to YouTube and then has to come back to me. So it's about, what, 15 seconds delay that you guys know we've hit the goal before I know the goal. Anyway, let's get into picture corner, because did I just mention going through that live chat room, Barbara? I think I did. I saw Barbara going through saying goal, because we've had a couple of pictures sent in from Barbara. Anyway, let's jump in to picture corner and have a look at them. So the first one, obviously the 2 are going to be Barbara. The first one is Barbara in her Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, holding her Wings of Pegasus mug, but as you can see, she's out and about. But where is she? She's out and about to watch, or she was out and about to watch Winger. And as you guys know, I'm a big Winger fan. And thank you, by the way, Laura, for linking me to these. So the other picture that I have is, I mean, this is Laura did a circle for me, because she said that you could see Barbara in the crowd, and I couldn't see anywhere, and the circle didn't work, so then Laura had to do it again. And we can see in the background there, obviously, sadly, we've had to sacrifice Kip Winger's face, but you can see in the middle of the shot in the circle there, Barbara in her Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, and I'm just trying to see, is that the mug there? It's quite difficult to see, but she might well be holding up the Wings of Pegasus mug. So thank you for that, Barbara, for uploading that picture, and Laura for linking me to it as well. And that is it for picture corner tonight. If you guys have any pictures of yourselves with a mug or modelling any merchandise, you can head over to that Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook that I mentioned earlier, where Bob hosts the after party, and you can upload pictures there, and then Laura will send them my way and link me to them. And that reminds me that, yeah, before we started the live stream, Vince was trying to link me to a picture, but it wasn't quite working because I couldn't access the particular post or something like that. Facebook was being a bit weird with it, so unfortunately couldn't grab hold of whatever that was. But Jan has donated 20 Norwegian kroner just now. Thank you for that. And the message is, you need some sun and sea. Busk in Brighton. So thank you for that. And actually getting sun is by no means a guarantee here in the UK, and that's the problem. I mean, most of the time I am indoors anyway, so I don't particularly work on my tan. But I mean, the other thing is that I do have very sensitive skin. As soon as I'm out in the sun for about a minute, then yeah, I'll look like I've. We say caught the sun here, but it's when you look a bit red and then it takes a bit of time for the redness to die down. And even kind of going out in cloudy weather, it's the same thing. But it's just, yeah, my genetic hand that I've been dealt as having very sensitive skin since very sensitive skin since I was a kid. So yeah, that's something about me. If I go out, I get especially, I mean, usually everything, you know, with the weather here in the UK, it's always either hoodie weather, usually not t-shirt weather. So I'd have a hoodie on, so it means that, yeah, the only thing that's exposed to the face is my face. Exposed to the sun is my face. My brain is going crazy replacing words here. So sometimes this happens on the live streams, but it did two quite quickly in a row there. So I was going to say, yeah, exposed to the sun, my face will obviously, yeah, turn red. But I mean, it's just a general thing for me if I ever have to go out. Oh, by the way, I was out yesterday just to check out my nephew's artificial grass pitch. So I was probably, you know, worked on my tan there a little bit. But yeah, I was playing football with them. And yeah, they're very lucky indeed. Their garden had turned into like a mud bath because they're constantly playing football. It doesn't matter what the weather's like, they just go out and play football all the time. So yeah, my sister had an artificial grass kind of put in there, so now it's going to be football proof for the rest of their lives, and then their teenage years when they get there. So yeah, I was having a play on that with them yesterday, which is great. And yeah, I was out it wasn't really sunny, it was cloudy, and then it started to rain. So yeah, the play was cooled off, but we did play for maybe half an hour, something like that. So yeah, I was working on my tan. Not really. I think working on your tan is when people lie down in the sun and just bake themselves, but I never do that. I'm a bit conscious of the strength of the sun, that it's not particularly good for the skin. And they do say that if you go in the sun a lot, it ages you more quickly or something. So maybe that is true, maybe not, but I don't go in the sun very much. So yeah, it's just not something I'm into, because doctors say it's not a very good idea. And it all depends on your genetic history, all that kind of stuff. I know I've got sensitive skin, so it's best for me to stay out of the sun as much as possible. My sister actually has had those kind of skin problems before, where she's had either a mole or something that they've had to remove because it was cancerous and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely an idea, certainly for me, to stay out of the sun. Right. Oh, let's now, I think we've covered everything. We'll jump into a Phil Jam, because we have reached that target, 337. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. You can keep on hitting that thumbs up on catch up if you're watching this in the future, of course. But let's get a little bit more organized with what I'm going to need here. What have we got? We've got the Strat plugged in. And oh, let's see how long this backing track is going to be, because where are we at with the time? It's 9 minutes past midnight. So this is 7 minutes and 23 seconds, which will take us to a little bit after the live stream, but we'll give it a go anyway. This is Phil Jam number 26, and let me reach across. Oh, we have got wah-wah capability tonight. If we want some wah-wah, do we want that? Maybe I'll do it a little bit later on into the jam rather than doing it throughout, but I will have to kind of lean on it and do my best to add some wah-wah. Oh, Joe says, might want the crybaby for tonight's jam. Now, are you saying that because you just heard me say that, or is that something you said before that and then I said that it is plugged in? So maybe it's all destiny that it is going to work. Right, let me get this going over here. All right. Okay, this is Neo Soul backing track in C, 88 beats per minute for those of you tempo fanatics. And this is coming from Essential Backing Tracks. That's the YouTube channel, and it's all one word, so no spaces between the words. Essential Backing Tracks. So I actually have to turn on my amp. That's going to be part of it. Just waiting to see. Okay, it now sounds like it's on. Okay, we're a little bit well, we're just on the clean tone, the default clean. I'm going to let this play through, because I mean, this isn't like hard rock or anything, so we might go clean. Let's just click play, have a listen. As for the levels, just going to have to see what happens. Oh, chair up as well. Okay, well, that sounds like distorted guitar would be a bad move here. Right, is my wah-wah actually on? Okay, right, it's not. I'll have to engage that later. I'll probably have to stand up, so to move it forward so I can actually put some weight on it at some point. So if I stand up, don't panic, it's just me trying to get the wah-wah going. Right. Let me know. Oh, Barbara says sounds good. Joe says pretty well balanced. Good stuff. Oh, a little bit flat on the high E string. My guitar's a bit quiet, but I'm just going to go with it. How far we are. Oh, we're about halfway. Try and get it. I'm gonna try and do some wah-wah if I can turn it on. Was that it? Yeah. I was kind of laughing at how clean this tone is. It's finished. It's one of those sudden ones. Yeah, that literally cuts out at 7 minutes 23 seconds. I thought that was going to happen because the thing came up on screen, and whenever it comes up on screen, you know that it means another video is going to start. So then trying to stop it before the next video starts, and then the advert comes on. So yeah, bit of a shame there. Didn't really get to do an ending because I was kind of looking at it thinking I've got to quickly press the space bar. Anyway, that was that. And yeah, I mean, again, that's one of those ones that it wasn't too many chords. It's just the same thing, kind of, you know. Sometimes we have had like just two chords, but at least we had a bit of a variation there. But it's relatively swift at moving around the progression over and over and over again. But we just about got away with it. 7 minutes 20 on that is probably all right, with the introduction of the wah wah. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's well, yeah, I think this is probably the cleanest tone we've had on a Fill Jam so far, but it's just what the amp was on, because I didn't actually have the amp turned on, so whatever it was, but it kind of worked quite well. Oh, I should have. I should have gone to neck pickup, but never mind. I'll have to do that next time if there's another backing track that we go clean on and have some wah wah on. But anyway, right, we are going to be calling things to a close now. So thank you guys for tuning in on tonight's live stream. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night. Then Thursday, but you won't see, I'm going to be having that interview with Taj. And then Friday, I'll be uploading that interview. Saturday is going to be live streaming again, as always. Sunday, there'll be another analysis video. So just make sure you are subscribed so that you get notified for each video when you hit the bell icon. So make sure you do that as well. Right, we're going to be calling it to a close. Have a fantastic rest of your week, everybody, and I'll see you here tomorrow night for the analysis video. Thank you, everyone, for hitting the thumbs up and getting us to our likes goal for tonight. It is much appreciated. Thank you guys as well for the donations, because, yeah, they do make a huge difference, but you don't have to donate, as I always say. And just having said that, Karen has donated £2.98 right at the end and says, "Hi Phil, bravo on what you said about looking at all aspects of music rather than solely on theory. I took theory in college, so would these enthusiasts survive trying to write middle-age Gregorian chants? Thanks for being true to your word, Phil. Rock on, Karen." So thank you for that, Karen. Right, and yes, we're going to be calling it to a close now. So thank you again for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow night. And as I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!